自分が友達ゲームに参加を申し込みました。
なんで俺しか陰口入れてないんだよ。
天智、だから言ったじゃないか。泣くなよ天智。だからな、スパッと聞かれたことだけ答えろよ天智。
これが雄一なのか。
Last time on Tomodachi Game, it was revealed that Makoto had killed someone, which surprised Tenji, who had refrained from writing anything to avoid stirring up trouble. He noticed Yuichi's wicked smile and guessed that he was the culprit behind the bad mouth, which Tsukino confirmed by stating that Yuichi has already set something up. Starting off episode 5, we learned that Tenji firmly believes that he has the right to rob Shio of everything, as she has already robbed him of the most important thing in his life. Tenji is so driven by his anger that he is ready to crush even Yuichi if he dares to get in his way. However, Manabu, being the voice of reason, steps in and questions Makoto about his alleged crime. Makoto denies it, but Tenji remains skeptical and thinks that Yuichi is behind this false accusation. He suspects that Yuichi has some sort of devious plan up his sleeve. Manabu, still not convinced, challenges Makoto to prove his innocence. However, Makoto is at a loss as to how he can do so. In a desperate attempt to clear his name, Makoto turns to the gods for help, hoping that they can see the truth in his words. Sadly, the gods vote against him by a staggering 99%, which causes Makoto to fall behind in the game by 5 spaces. As the tension mounts, Yuichi approaches Makoto and shows his unwavering support for him. He believes that there is a traitor among them who is trying to ruin their friendship. Yuichi asserts that he knows who the traitor is, but he won't reveal their identity just yet. He is determined to use a strategic approach to win the game and expose the traitor once and for all. Yuichi makes a powerful observation about the game, noting that it is not fair at all. Despite their initial trust in each other, their debt has continued to increase. While the reward remains the same, it's as if the game is rigged against them. Yuichi recalls a moment in the game where Yutari's debt inexplicably decreased, and he suspects that there is more to the game than meets the eye. Yuichi argues that in a fair game like the normal Sugoroku, there are both positive and negative spaces, which help to balance the game and make it more enjoyable. He believes that if they can make it to the end, the positive and negative spaces will even out. Yuichi is determined to win the game and expose the traitor, but he knows that they must work together to do so. Maria confirms the group's suspicion that the bad-mouth Sugoroku has been rigged to discourage cooperation. She notes that the game designers placed the majority of the negative elements in the first half. Unfortunately, she adds, it seems the team has only just realized this fact. The group collectively nods in agreement. Yuichi voices his frustration with the game's design. He laments that it's impossible to know who wrote which negative comment. To solve this problem, the team decides that everyone will now only write bad mouths for themselves, except for the person in the lead. This way, if someone doesn't have a bad mouth, it's a clear sign that they're the traitor. While most of the team approves of this plan, Tenji is less enthusiastic. He suggests that they skip the guess-it game altogether and just have Yuichi identify the traitor. The rest of the group disagrees, arguing that the traitor would be unfairly punished if they had to play the third game alone. As the discussion continues, tensions begin to rise. Tenji warns Yuichi that if this plan fails, he will never trust him again if he can't provide evidence of the traitor's identity. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is your favorite anime villain? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. As the 8th period starts, Yuichi is confident that there will only be 4 bad mouths. Suddenly, Manabu pipes up and declares that there are in fact 10. Yuichi is taken aback by this unexpected twist, and Manabu chastises him for his lack of preparation. If they could only write 1 card, Yuichi's plan would have worked perfectly, but since they have the ability to write more, someone had gone rogue and exceeded the limits. Tenji speaks up, noting that he saw this coming all along. He demands that Yuichi reveal the traitor's identity, but Yuichi can only offer an apology, admitting that he had merely been bluffing and didn't actually know if there was a traitor in their midst. Tenji then turns his attention to Shio, coaxing her into staying by his side. He feels as though he has won the game and relishes the thought of getting his revenge on her. The atmosphere grows tense as the game continues, with the friends pointedly avoiding eye contact and conversation. At the 19th period, Shio is only one space away from winning the game, and the tension is palpable. Maria and Tsukino are resigned to the fact that the game will end like all the other bad-mouth Sugoroku games they've played. However, Tsukino senses that something is off and decides to rewind the video. As she watches it again, she notices something strange and realizes that Yuichi is up to something. This only adds to the excitement of the game, as everyone is wondering what Yuichi's next move will be. Yuichi reveals that he has a plan that will force the traitor to expose themselves. Although Tenji is hesitant to listen, Yuichi knows that they can't stop Shio from winning, and they need to do something to catch the traitor. Makoto is curious as to why Yuichi wants to reveal the traitor now, but Yuichi explains that there is a penalty for lying and he wants to use that to their advantage. With the last bad-mouth votes, Yuichi writes the name of everyone on 5 cards and asks them to write the same thing, which will only be true for the traitor. The tension builds as everyone wonders if they will be able to come up with the same lie. Yuichi believes that the traitor is the same person who applied to play Tomodachi game and is determined to catch them. As the game progresses, everyone is on the edge of their seats, waiting to see if their plan will work. Tenji is nervous about going first, but he knows that he has to do it. Inside the box, he wonders what he should say, but ultimately decides to tell the truth and admit that he was forced to apply for the game. Manabu collects the cards with precision and asserts that out of all the cards, there is only one with a negative remark. Inquisitive as always, Manabu decides to unravel the mystery of the bad mouth by reading it out loud. The card belonged to none other than Tenji, and he had written that he applied for the game. Tenji is perplexed, questioning why he is the only one who took the risk to admit it. Yuichi, with his sharp mind, tells Tenji that he figured out a way to expose the traitor, and Tenji decides to play the victim card by breaking into tears. But Yuichi is not buying it, and he grabs Tenji with an intimidating look and questions him relentlessly. In a surprising twist, Tenji confesses to being the traitor, and Maria can't contain her excitement. Tsukino jumps in, stating that she could see 3 abnormalities if she rewatches the game from the start. Yuichi, with a confident smile, divulges that he had meticulously plotted a plan to catch the traitor even before the second game commenced. When the 3rd period arrived and the despicable bad-mouthing of Shio by Tenji surfaced, Yuichi and Shio clandestinely collaborated without the knowledge of others. The 2 of them carried out the mission in a discreet manner, with Yuichi directing Shio with the cards. Tsukino, astounded by Yuichi's ingenious plan, verifies that this was his first trap. She urges Maria to rewatch the footage from the 4th period, where it's evident that Yuichi held 2 cards and a pen, but apparently handed Shio an empty card. Tenji, surprised by the revelation, realizes that while tapping Shio on the shoulder, he had handed her a card with instructions. Yuichi, on the other hand, calmly elucidates his logic behind trusting Shio, revealing that he had indeed tested her loyalty. His first instructions to Shio was to use the secret that he had divulged to her, that he had gone without taking a bath for an entire week. Yuichi cunningly deduced that the person behind the other malicious rumors was none other than the traitor and not Shio. Who is the traitor? What will happen once their identity is revealed? Find out on our next recap of Tomodachi game.